Max Patch 67 here. Today I'm on day 5 of my through hike of the Lost Coast Trail. I'm starting out this morning where I slept near the lighthouse and marina, where I charged up my batteries in the bathroom back there at the park. So you can see the marina here in the background and the coast here, and you can see it's a beautiful morning to get started. I'm going to walk to the north end of town to Black Sands Beach and get started on my hike northward this morning. Let's see what we can find. On day 5, I'm starting out right here at Black Sands Beach. There's a whole lot of cars in the parking lot, so it looks like it'll be a lot busier heading north from here, compared to the southern part that I was just on. So here's Shelter Cove, where I'm starting on day 5. On day 1, I started down here at Highway 1, right there, and hiked 6 miles up to the actual trailhead at Usal Beach. And I've been heading north. Now I'm at Shelter Cove, and in 3 more days of easy hiking along the beach, I should be up here at Patrolia. So that's the plan. Quite a few cars here in the parking lot. Alright, and heading over to the beach here. You can see the beautiful hike we have coming up today. This is called Black Sand Beach right here. Looking to the south. And our trail will be heading north along that coastline there, right along the beach. Should be some really enjoyable hiking heading northward from here. All of the creeks are flowing clear and cold, and this has been a very dry July here, so that's pretty encouraging, I'd say, for, you know, probably anytime you come here you'll have fresh water in all these creeks. I'm trying to get this trail dirt cleaned off from yesterday still. So you can see here how the creek flows into the ocean. Here's what it looks like coming in here. It has a real strong flow to it. Beautiful blue sky day. Some more backpackers here heading southward. I think most people hike southward on this trail. So if you hike north like I am, you will be alone more, but probably see more people because you'll be crossing more people. And the north part here is more heavily used. There were probably about 15-20 cars at the trailhead, and at the other trailhead, 1. So that's a good indication of how much it's used compared to the south end of the trail. Here's the view to the south. You see it's pretty rocky through here. Lots of rock hopping, and the tide's pretty high right now. It's probably about 4 feet right now. It's heading downward from the high about an hour ago at just 5 feet for this afternoon. And then looking over here, we have out to the west, of course, and then looking northward here. It's a beautiful day out here on the coast. Sunny, windy, cool. It's in the 60s. Beautiful day. The hiking may take you a little bit longer than you think, or a little bit faster than you think, based on what the surface is like that you're on at that point. So you look through here, it's like large, well, medium-sized boulders. Back there ways there's more cobblestone. If the tide goes out enough, then you have some nice hard-packed wet sand to walk on. So it's a variety of walking surfaces, and just your pace will vary a lot depending on where you're at on the beach and where the tide is at. Here we're coming across another creek. This is Buck Creek, and you can see a strong flow of water here coming into the Pacific, and it's running clear and cold. So I would suggest, if I were you, to not bother even carrying any water with you, but just to hike from stream to stream, drinking water as you need it, because there is so much water in these creeks flowing in. About every mile and a half or 2, there's a strong flow of water in a creek waiting for you. So I would suggest not carrying the water and saving the weight of that, and just using the fresh creek water when you come to it. So far, after 5.5 miles on the trail, there's been a big variety of hiking surfaces. Right now, it may be preferable in your situation to be rock hopping like this across the boulders. Or you may, if tide is out, you may be preferring to hike on the sand. There's a big variety of hiking surfaces here. So be prepared for anything, from smooth ground to rock hopping like this. Earlier, it was a more difficult surface, I thought, because it was all cobblestone, and the cobblestone to me is not very easy to hike on. You may find it different than me, but I find these rocks easier to walk on than the cobblestone. This is also pretty common, a mixed size of rocks. I think it's the most difficult, from sand and gravel to cobble and larger rocks. So it's hard to choose where to take your steps, I think. But this is another type of surface you'll be walking on, depending on the tide. The tide is going to determine a lot where your hiking. When the tide is high, you'll be forced up onto different types of rock surfaces. When the tide is out, I would suggest hiking on the hard packed wet sand where the tide has just been previously. That is a lot easier surface to hike on, so I would suggest that. You would think that hiking on the beach would require maybe flip-flops or sandals, but I would suggest for this hike on the beach wearing something more stiff. I've got these Merrells on. I think those are pretty good for this, but that would probably be the softest sole that I would use. I'd even maybe recommend something a little bit more stiff of a sole than that. That would support your feet better under all of the rocks. As the tide is going out, you have this hard packed sand that's great to hike on. It doesn't beat this for hiking on the beach as far as the quality of the trail. The hard packed wet sand is just perfect. It's firm and it'll give you a good step every time. It's much better than the loose sand where you don't get anywhere very fast. So whenever you can, you'd want to hike on this hard packed wet sand, just right on the edge of the line of the tide. And at times you just have to move in a little bit to avoid the water. But this edge where the water's coming up is going to be your best place to hike along this trail. Okay, see? Just move up a little bit, avoid the water, and keep on moving. You can actually make a game out of it. It's kind of fun to take a few little chances in that way. Choose your methods of sun protection and use them. Hats, shirts, sunscreen, it's all good. You're going to be in the sun all day long on the northern portion of the trail north of Shelter Cove. So use sun protection of any kind. The views are amazing the whole time. I've hiked 6 miles so far and you can still see Shelter Cove over there. That's the end of the coast sticking out there. So the whole time you have views all across up and down the coastline. Another example of how much water flows into this trail. Here's it's been a really dry July and yet this stream is flowing right down the rocks that you would think would be dry this time of year. So I think these streams must be spring fed because it has not been raining for this kind of water to be coming in to the area. All of the fresh water sources on this trail, truly amazing. Well, maybe flip-flops or sandals would be okay on some parts of the trail. And this is what I consider to be the worst hiking surface of the whole trail, which you would want to probably avoid walking on if you could, which is cobblestone. This cobblestone. It's just about the worst. If you had some really super stiff boots, it would be okay, but unless you have that, you're not going to like these cobblestones. They're very loose under your feet, twist your ankles easily, so avoid these at all costs, especially when they're loose, like this little section right here. You want to go either up or down to get off the cobblestone. You may have to rock hop across some of the streams. This one's called Shipman Creek. As you're heading northward on the trail, as you get near the part of the trail that's out of the impassable during high tide zone through this 4.5 miles here, as you get about right here, you can start looking for a cairn on the bank of the ocean and on the little cliff there. And there's a little bit like a little 5-foot climb that if you climb up on that cliff, you can get up on this trail and take an easy trail over towards Miller Flat if you'd like to, or if you can stay down on the ocean side if you want to. But the trail is real flat up here and real easy to walk on compared to all the rocks down there. So anyway, that's the way I'm heading, is over across on this trail up on the through the grass over to camp at Miller Flat, and that's at Big Flat Creek. Well, if you do decide to come up here and hike on this trail, I'm pretty sure you'll really love it because it's so easy to hike on compared to the rocks down on the beach. So check this out, see how nice it is. I've already seen some deer up here jumping around and grazing on the grass, so it's just a really pretty scene up here and a very pleasant walk downhill. You got to climb up 5 feet right out on the cliff, and then you have to hike up a few, maybe 5 minutes of a little bit steeper, sort of steep trail, but then it's all downhill for a long ways, as you can see here. It's very pretty. Looking backwards, this is what you see. Miller Flat, also called Big Flat, where Big Flat Creek comes in, is big. You can see the huge grass prairie here across this huge flat area, so it's pretty massive, beautiful, contrasting to the ocean here. And you can still see the harbor back there, way over there. You can see the town we just hiked from. Well, I'm heading over towards the creek, but this is a cool campsite right here that some people have made up out of these logs and rocks. I'm gonna head further across this flat area towards the creek. And right now, this is as far as Big Flat Creek gets to the ocean. It doesn't quite cross the water here, or cross the sand over to the ocean. And I don't know why, but it's very hot right here at Big Flat or Miller Flat. It's called different things. It's very hot. I do not want. I guess these winds are coming down from the mountains on the east side here from the land, so it's just very warm air instead of the cool ocean air that we're used to along this hike. So this is not that pleasant right here where it's so hot in July. So it was super hot when I got here this afternoon, and since then there's been a mix of breezes ranging from just hot and cold mixes of air. So I'm not familiar with this area, so I'm not sure why it's doing that, but it's just like the cool air is coming from the ocean, the warm air from the land. It's like just swirling around, changing just like second by second sometimes. But anyway, I found a nice spot here on the beach. This, like I said earlier, this area is huge right here. in this flat. So if you want to be assured of a place to camp, you're assured of a place to camp here at the Miller Flat. And there are quite a few people here tonight, but they're all spread out, so it's not bad. Hiked about 10.2 miles today, I believe, from Shelter Cove. So it's a pretty big day. Feet are kind of worn out, and that'll make the next 2 days pretty, you know, it won't be very difficult because there's only like 12 to 14 miles left. So like 6 or 7 mile days to finish up. And I'm not trying to make the world record time on this trip. The purpose of doing it in 7 days is to have a good time. So it should be nice to have 2 more days to finish it up. Alright, so got a nice spot on the beach. You're looking forward to a beautiful car overnight. Yeah, I've been out here before. The stars are amazing at nighttime because you have the whole Pacific, no light pollution, and there aren't many towns around here on the land anyway to give off light pollution, so the skies are really pretty. The Milky Way is just awesome, and you see lots of satellites and shooting stars, so it's a really nice place out here. Saw lots of sea life today. We saw dolphins, sea lions, sea otters, and yeah, so lots of water and lots of birds, fowl, whatever. I don't know what kind they are because I've not been here to identify them before, so I'm not sure what they are, but lots of birds. So it's been super pretty. And so looking forward to day 6 tomorrow. My hike on the Lost Coast Trail. So hope you'll join me in what day 6 is like. Well, I thought maybe you'd be curious to see what it's like sleeping here on the beach. The waves are just right over here behind me, about I don't know, a couple hundred feet crashing there. And here you can see my sleeping bag right here. Right here. I have my backpack. Anything I need during the night, like extra warmer clothes or stocking cap to put on, I keep right here next to me. And my bag is a summertime bag. It's a 50-degree bag, so sometimes it doesn't quite keep you warm at 50, so sometimes I put some long johns on, or one of my wool sweater on, and my stocking cap, and that usually will keep me warm in this summertime bag. But this 50-degree bag is good for the summertime. It doesn't weigh so much, and it's not very big to carry in the backpack, so I like to use that one whenever I can because it's lightweight. So anyway, it's about time to sack in, so good night till day 6.